You are not tired because you are weak. You are tired because your systems are unstable. Most people think fatigue is simple. They assume it means they did not sleep enough or that they need more caffeine. So they sleep longer on weekends. They drink stronger coffee. They try to push harder. But the exhaustion keeps returning. Not dramatic exhaustion. Not collapse. Just a constant, low-grade heaviness that follows them from morning to night. You wake up and your body feels slow. By mid-morning, your focus drifts. After lunch, your energy drops. At night, you feel wired but not productive. Then you repeat it again the next day. This pattern is not random. It is biological. Energy is not just about how many hours you sleep. It is about how stable your internal systems are. When sleep cycles are fragmented, when blood sugar spikes and crashes, when stress hormones stay elevated, and when dopamine signaling becomes inconsistent, your brain shifts into conservation mode. It reduces drive. It reduces sharpness. It protects itself. You feel that as fatigue. The first hidden factor is sleep architecture. Many people sleep 8 hours but never enter deep, restorative sleep consistently. Deep sleep helps regulate hormones and repair neural systems. REM sleep supports emotional regulation and cognitive reset. If your sleep is light, interrupted, or misaligned with your circadian rhythm, your brain does not fully recover. You wake up technically rested, but not restored. Light exposure at the wrong time, late-night screen stimulation, irregular sleep schedules, and chronic stress all disrupt this cycle. You may not notice it in a single night, but over weeks, the effect accumulates. Your baseline energy drops. The second factor is blood sugar instability. Your brain consumes a large amount of energy relative to its size. It depends on a steady fuel supply. When you start the day with refined carbohydrates, sweetened coffee, or skip protein entirely, your blood sugar rises quickly. Insulin follows. Then glucose drops. That drop is subtle but powerful. You feel foggy. You crave more stimulation. You reach for another coffee or snack. The cycle continues. Energy crashes are often metabolic, not motivational. The third factor is stress load. Cortisol is not the enemy. It is necessary for alertness. In the morning, cortisol naturally rises to help you wake up. But when stress becomes chronic, constant notifications, mental pressure, unfinished tasks, poor boundaries, cortisol patterns flatten. Instead of rising and falling predictably, they become erratic. Over time, this dysregulation affects sleep quality, appetite control, and dopamine balance. Dopamine is often misunderstood as a pleasure chemical. In reality, it is more about drive and effort allocation. When dopamine signaling becomes unstable due to overstimulation, chronic stress, or poor sleep, motivation weakens. Tasks feel heavier. Starting becomes harder. You interpret that resistance as laziness, but it is often neurochemical fatigue. Then there is cognitive switching. Modern life demands constant context changes. You check a message. You answer an email. You scroll briefly. You return to work. Each switch consumes mental energy. The brain does not instantly reorient. It pays a cost. Over hours, this cost compounds into decision fatigue. You may not feel stressed, but you feel drained. When these systems overlap, imperfect sleep, unstable glucose, elevated stress hormones, dopamine volatility, and cognitive overload, your body adapts by reducing output. It becomes conservative. It lowers your sense of vitality to prevent deeper damage. The solution is not intensity. It is stabilization. Energy improves when inputs become predictable. Start with your mornings. The first hour after waking sets the tone for hormonal regulation. Exposing your eyes to natural light within the first 30 minutes helps anchor circadian rhythm. It signals your brain that it is daytime. This supports cortisol timing and later melatonin release. Consistency here can improve sleep quality within days. Movement matters early as well. Not extreme exercise, just light movement that increases circulation. A short walk, basic mobility, gentle activation. This raises alertness without triggering stress overload. Next, stabilize your nutrition. Prioritize protein and fiber early in the day. Avoid large sugar loads in isolation. When glucose rises slowly and steadily, cognitive energy remains stable. You avoid the mid-morning crash that often drives caffeine dependence. Caffeine itself is not the problem for most people. Timing and context are. Consuming it immediately upon waking, before your natural cortisol peak declines, may interfere with your body's own alertness rhythm. Delaying intake slightly can support more stable energy patterns. Then reduce unnecessary switching. Batch communication. Turn off non-essential notifications. Work in focus blocks. The goal is not perfection. It is reducing friction. When your brain stays on one task longer, it consumes less energy reorienting. Paradoxically, you finish more while feeling less drained. Hydration is simple but underestimated. Mild dehydration affects cognitive performance and perceived energy. Regular fluid intake supports circulation and thermoregulation, both of which influence how energetic you feel. Sleep remains foundational. Consistent timing is more powerful than occasional long sleep. A cool, dark environment improves sleep depth. Limiting intense screen exposure before bed protects melatonin production. These are not dramatic hacks. They are structural corrections. Within days of stabilizing these variables, many people notice something subtle but powerful. Energy does not spike. It smooths out. There are fewer dramatic crashes. Focus lasts longer. Motivation requires less force. The difference is not euphoric. It is steady. That steadiness is the real marker of recovery. You may still experience fatigue after demanding days. That is normal. Fatigue becomes concerning when it is constant, unexplained, or worsening. In those cases, medical evaluation is appropriate to rule out underlying conditions. But for many high-functioning adults, the issue is not disease. It is system instability. Your body is not failing you. It is adapting to chaos. When you create rhythm, energy follows. When you reduce extremes, motivation returns. When you align sleep, nutrition, stress, and focus, your baseline shifts upward. Energy is not built through force. It is built through consistency. You do not need a radical reset. You need predictable inputs. If you feel tired all the time, do not start by adding more intensity. Start by removing instability. Stabilize sleep timing. Stabilize light exposure. Stabilize glucose. Reduce unnecessary switching. Protect recovery. The human nervous system rewards rhythm. When your systems trust the environment, they increase output. That is how energy returns, not as a burst, but as capacity. And capacity compounds. Optimize your biology.